So what's up, guys? We're here again once again, right? So this week it is week 4 of the challenge, and we're 1 week behind the challenge, but we're not in any rush to catch up to the challenge. So that being said, right, we are at a balance of 135. So this week we're going to reach the $35 back up to like two oh five, you know what I mean? So if we say if there is and get a one to two restore ratio, then that would be like me making $70 on top of what I already have, which would give me a balance of $205. So we want to just take time scale account, not in any rush to catch up to week 4. Right, we're only behind, but we're not in a rush to catch up to it because it's not like 2 week behind, 3 week behind. No. So there's no point in me over risking, you know what I mean? So that being said, sorry about that. That being said, let's get straight into the markets. So last week we took a win. So basically so far, right, we have won 2 trades, right, 2 week, and then we lost 1 trade 1 week. So 3 week gone so far, and today's week we have lost once and win twice. That's a good win right there, right? Basically a good restore, right? A good win right there. And then this week we're also looking to take another win. So that would be us actually a good, you know what I mean, a good month because this will be the last of the month actually. This week will be the last of this month, which is July. So yeah. All right, let's get into the market. So on GPUSD, right, you can see here that last week we took this trade. We're interested in taking this trade from this F interest to the downside. But what happened was that this trade leave us behind. It moved not fast, but it just moved in a way that I was not able to catch the trade because I was at work, right? Or I was beginning to work. Something like that. I don't remember, but there's definitely no way I could have taken this trade from here because I was busy. I was caught up. So I did not get to take the trade from there. But what happened now, why I'm interested in this trade this week once again, is that you can see here that we close below this air fringes at one, two, three, three touches, right? You have 3 touches on the weekly time frame. That's valid. Well, four touches on the weekly time frame. That's actually valid, right? So from there, I'm looking to take this to the downside based off the weekly because the weekly candlestick close below the area of interest, which means you're looking to take it as a sell, right? Because it's below a resistance area, basically. And then on day time frame, we also close below the area of interest. And then also like different from that, we have price showing some type of rejection here. You can see this pin bar candlestick right here. Right, this pin bar candlestick that's like indicating that price going to continue to the downside. So the weekly close as an engulfing below the FM and the daily close as a pin bar candlestick indicating that price going to continue to go to the downside. So that being said, let's go onto the 4 hour time frame and see what's happening. The 4 hour time frame is currently bearish as well. So the weekly is bearish and the weekly is bullish, but daily the 4 hour is bearish. So we have 2 time frames in sync. And we actually this looks like it's cooking right now to go to the downside, but as of now, I would not be interested in it because I want price a pullback, whereas after that we can be interested in so I want price pullback within this orange here, this rectangle here. I want price go within there, not below like this. I want price to have further pullback to take this to a sell. Right? I need a deeper retracement basically. So that's GPUSD, and it's just waiting for a deeper retracement to sell this pair. AUD and ZD. So this pair is one of my favorite by far because just because of how it is right now. Like on the weekly time frame, it is very obvious that we are bearish, right? So we're bearish here. And then after being bearish, we came back for a pull within this here fringes that 2 touches. Or if you want to count this could be three. But basically 2 touches is what I see. But on a daily time frame is where we got things more interesting. We have 1, 2, 3 touches here on day time frame, right? And from there, I can see that here on day time frame at this current year from interest, I can see that price here starting to slow down. 'Cause we have this closure right here, mini closure at this day. Can see the high pullback, a small pullback, right? Not anything crazy. And then on the four is really what got me interested in this trade. We have this double top formation at a year from interest. This is like telling me that hey, price is going to go down, right? So That being said, we're interested in this have a pullback here to then sell. We're gonna wait for something like a 4 hour pullback though, not above the air futures or anything like, but something like just a small 4 hour pullback here because then I would have more of a interest in the market. Something like this. Oh my god. So something like that, and then from there we could take shift to the downside. That's what I'll be looking for, but let's see how that goes. So AED NZD is like my number two fair pair. I'll show you my number one so far. GPS will be my number three. And then Eurocad would actually be my number five. And we're interested in this last week as well. So here you can see that we closed below the F interest, as you guys already know, because this was a trade from last week. And then daytime frame had a pullback. This was on Monday, Tuesday, and then Wednesday, we had that Doji candlestick closure. Then on Thursday, I was interested in taking this trade, but I didn't get any entry, so I could not enter. I did state that I wanted price to close, like to have a shifter structure than retest. Price had a shifter structure once it broke below this area, but we did not have the retest, so I wanted it, so we could not take trade. And because of how the day was looking, like we were on a Friday, so we weren't interested in taking the trade unless prices had a pullback and had that push to downside or that confirmation of push to downside, then I'll be able to take the trade. But for now, I was not interested. So I'm still looking for a pullback here to take this trade. Let's see how that goes. Not really sure that it will happen. So this is why this is my fourth pair. Not really interested because I doubt it will happen. But let's see. No, this is my number one pair, ADUSD. ADUSD is looking honestly good so far because we had a push it downside, had a retracement, had disclosure, which indicating that price not exactly want to go up, but doesn't exactly want to go down. Then we have disclosure, which is indicating that price is looking forward to going down. You know what I mean? And then we close below the air inches as well. So that's a good um confluence right there. Sorry. So here in the time frame, you can see here that we're actually bearish, right? And then we had this closer below the F interest, had its pin bar candlestick once again. So what I'm looking for on the 4 hour time frame. Whoa, never mind. The 4 hour time frame is actually already cooking. We have a left head, right shoulder break, retesting the F interest. So all thing I can expect is like this trade actually kick off very, very soon. I don't know what to expect right now. All thing that I could hope for is that if prices to go down, then I hope prices actually come back up in if interested, then from there we can sell, right? So that if price decide to break, if not, and it wants to consolidate a little bit, then sure, I'll be able in to take this trade later on. But for now, we got to be more patient with these trades because this is gonna play out fast. I have a feeling that this is gonna play out very, very fast. And this will also play out fast as well. So these two are the trades I got to keep my eye on. Feel like these will play out very, very fast. This trade is more like it can also play out fast, but you know what I mean? Probably might take a little bit more time because uh but let's just keep our fingers crossed, man. This is a trade that is most unlikely to play out, and this trade I'm not really interested because I don't know. I'm just don't feel confident about this one. You know what I mean? So this is like my least fair pair, different from Eurocard to take. But ADUSD, ADNZD, these are pairs that I actually love. So let's see how the week goes. So we can take it from 135 to 205 or even more. So that's it so far. Thank you guys for watching.